I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
Oh, I know this might be a controversial topic considering everything else that we've talked about tonight, but I specifically thought that it was serendipitous that you two were my guests tonight because you guys, one of you, Chrissie, introduced us to this person, and then another one somehow got wrangled into some kind of involvement with this person. So we all know Scarlett. Scarlett had some shit go down recently.
Where's Scarlett?
What's she up to?
Nick?
Do you really not know Cecil?
No, I know.
Okay. Sorry. She was arrested on July 28th.
Not guilty.
Following a domestic incident. And she was taken to a psychiatric care unit in East Chicago, which is actually in Indiana. And upon being admitted to the psychiatric care unit, they searched a bag that came in with her. And it had 30 grams of cocaine in it, which, of a mixture containing cocaine. Which
How
I'm
many
actually
servings is that?
a lot. That's about eight balls worth.
What's a ball worth?
And 8 balls like a decent amount to go out on a night with for you and your pals.
Yeah,
Okay.
8 ball is 3.5 grams. For most people, doing more than a gram in a day becomes an overdose risk. So, an 8 ball would last. Look, just shooting in the dark, no idea about this. An 8 ball would last 2 people, probably like on a good pace, 4 to 5 days. 3 people, I don't know how I would estimate this, 2 to 3 days.
Does weight play a factor in that?
A little bit, but not too much, really. Cocaine kind of just affects everybody about the same. You do about 60 to 120 milligrams at a time if you're doing lines. That's a little bit much. That's irresponsible use.
To measure it on a scale?
No. You just kind of get a feel for it, I think. Pouring it out and you go, that looks great. But no, I think my experience, most people do too much cocaine. It kind of just builds up in your nose and there's no point. But anyway, this is about 8 balls. So this is like a quite a bit. It's a little over an ounce. When I was arrested, they found 26 grams, they said, but that included the weight of the bags. So it was actually 19 grams.
Did plastic baggies add a lot to the weight?
Yeah, those plastic, if they have a
They were
zipper
in his
on them,
ass, so he couldn't feel.
if they have a zipper on them, they add 1 to 2 grams per bag.
Oh.
So that matters a lot. So in this case, the cocaine for Scarlett was in 4 bags. If they each have a Ziploc, it'll actually bring the weight down below 28 grams, which would bring her to the next lower level felony. So it's kind of a critical amount. Like in my case, going from 26 down to 19 brought me from a class 2 felony to a class 3 felony. So that kind of matters. But yeah, so she was arrested after the discovery of 30
Who was her
grams.
domestic with? Was that with Ethan Ralph?
With Ralph, yeah.
Where did this
Yes.
happen?
July 28th.
Where? Like what? Like I know. I think
They were at a hotel.
Oh, at a hotel. Huh.
They were at a hotel in East Chicago, which is like by Gary, Indiana.
I can't believe they didn't work out. I honestly thought they were like a little, like a Bert and Lonnie thing going, Sam and Diane chemistry.
So-
I don't know.
If she's convicted of this, even a first-time offender can face multiple years in prison on this. Like you can always hope for deferment or something like that in a plea agreement. But yeah, it's a very serious charge. Very serious. I think it's a level. Each state has their own levels of felony. I think it's a level 6 felony in Indiana, which is pretty fucking bad.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, so she is out though. She bailed out almost immediately. Her bail was set at $30,000.
Holy shit! That's
That's
so much
amateur
money.
amount. Mine was 50. Get on my level, but no. So you generally only pay 10% of your bail amount either a 10% bond, or if they give you a cash bail option, you pay 10% in cash to the court. The trick is if you're convicted or whatever, you don't show up, they take that money. But so she bailed out, probably paid $3,000 to a bonding agent or to the court, and was released. I think either the same. I think the next day. But she was like sedated at the psychiatric care unit because she was in some sort of distress. We're not sure exactly what it was from the like public documents. But yeah, so she's in for a little bit of a mess. I think she's got a hearing on it coming up, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure.
So what can she do? Can she say, it wasn't mine, or like?
Okay, so I know a lot of people are giving me shit about this because I did a video on possible defenses. Most possession charges are really straightforward, right? Like you find someone with drugs or drugs like in their car, in their house, and you go, okay, well, that's probably theirs. And most juries understand that really easily. It becomes more complicated when there's another person involved and there's other stuff involved. In this case, all we know is that there was the cocaine was in a Nike bag that she brought in with her. Now, she has claimed to the police that's not her bag. And at first blush, a lot of drug arrests end up with, hey, that's not mine. I don't know where that is. But in this case,
it's even in Shrek 2.
In this case, there is another person who is a known drug user who may have actually been the person who owns the bag. I have no idea. I don't know anything, just going off of what public reports are.
Could that person be a fat person with a gun?
It's Ralph, yeah. I mean, Ralph was there in the hotel with her. So the way they would, investigate this, if they wanted to, is she could try and deflect blame onto Ralph. She could say she didn't know it was in the bag, or, was unaware that it's his. They might look at, if they're in a hotel, like who is paying for the room, et cetera, et cetera. The one good defense that Scarlett has, and this doesn't mean that she's going to get off on this, but one of the really good defenses that she would raise is that when she was brought in, she was immediately admitted into a psychiatric care unit and sedated. So she didn't give any statements to the police that she would be really responsible for saying. I don't think she gave any statement to the police at all. But even if stuff she said to the hospital staff, you could say, hey, she wasn't in a right state of mind. And then she could say that, she could plausibly say, like, this bag isn't mine. It came in with me, but it's not mine. Now, does a jury believe that? Does a prosecutor believe that? They've heard that story.
You think this will get to a jury?
I doubt it. So what you want to do in a case like this, if you're the attorney or the defendant, is you want to start making it, you want to bring up complications for the prosecution and make it look like a pain in the ass to prosecute you so that you can negotiate a plea agreement, right? I believe Scarlett's a first-time offender. So, in my case, it was basically like, I'll submit to chemical use assessment. I'll follow the recommendations. They recommended a very light sort of rehab and stuff like that. So if she can get, and different states are different. So if she could get something like deferment as a first time offender, where she goes to treatment, it rather than goes to jail, gets probation for probably a decent grip of time, and then is monitored. Probably they would let her transfer back to Wisconsin. She'd be monitored by the state of Wisconsin's probation team. That's a realistic outcome for her. A complete acquittal, like at a jury trial, is very unlikely. A better chance for her would be to get the prosecutor, like convince the prosecutor that you have evidence that it's not your stuff, and then maybe they would drop it. That's a hard road too. I'm not saying any of this is easy, but yeah, the plea agreement. Right before this happened, she released a 6-second video on Twitter where it kind of looked like she was being assaulted. So that goes into consideration. She could make the claim, this person was assaulting me, it's theirs. And I mean, whether or not it isn't up to any of us to figure out, and it isn't up to her either. It's what does the prosecutor have to overcome to prove that it is hers beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's without it getting much more boring, that's a decent synopsis of it.
Speaking of boring, look at this dog. She acts like she's never ate in her life.
Oh, Tulip.
You notice she comes out here the second I have food.
She kind of looks like that guy in the wheelchair from earlier.
Oh, shut up! Oh, my poor baby.
No, I just mean with the short arms and the oversized neck and the arrow-shaped head.
No.
She looks like what's his name? Falcor from.
No.
Does not look like Falcor. She looks like a beautiful princess
That was a
Pekingese.
very thorough explanation, Nick. I appreciate that, and I hope it's so easy to as someone who was very recently the fodder for many people's content. It's very easy to just make videos about her and get on your high horse and feel superior and be like, she's on drugs. I knew it. It's like, well, I knew Scarlett. When I asked her if she was on anything, she said no.
Well, she was lying to you.
It's like, what can you do other than, like, you can only help a person as much as they help themselves or are, you know what I mean? You also can't force your help on someone who's not really asking for it or needing it.
Right. Yeah, you cannot make someone who doesn't want to get better. Like that's not better to them.
Right.
So if when I was doing drugs and had not been caught, right? Like if you said, hey Nick, I think you need to stop doing this and get better, I would have come up with a million excuses as to why you're wrong. Or depending on who you were, I might have denied it. Like if, someone was not in the know, you have kind of a list of people that you trust and don't trust. So yeah, you can't make someone do it. The law can. The law is pretty good at it because they're like, if you don't do this, you go to prison, which isn't fun. I don't think. I don't know, but I would guess.
Yeah.
I would like to say this video. So I watched it yesterday on my stream. We don't have to watch it again, but this is from a serious man. He made a really funny edit of this whole Simpcast interaction, which Chrissy, I'm sure you thoroughly remember.
I don't. I remember. I don't.
You don't remember this?
No. I mean, how long ago was this? Was this last year?
Let me reshare with audio. I hate that it does. No, come on.
Oh, was this when she called out Mandy?
She went off on Mandy for something Nina said. Oh, and she was mad at the Jack show.
I thought she went off on Nina.
She Nina triggered her, and then she went off on Mandy.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of like Phoebe from Friends.
Oh.
It's a compliment.
I don't know why she can't just say, bye, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Are you talking about Nina? I don't know either. Oh, Vice Girl. You okay? Oh, you're muted. Oh, no. You're muted.
I forgot I was on this show.
That's the discrimination I get. But whatever. I'm going to put a smile on my face because I love Chrissy and I love Lila. Cecil's awesome. And then you on the left of me, you called a veteran too fat to sit in a chair.
Oh, it's just
Yeah, I can fit in that fucking chair.
Oh, yeah. The fat guy.
Is Cecil too fat to sit in a chair?
No, not Cecil, the cigar guy.
Oh.
House.
Right.
Okay, so for those that don't know, because Cecil doesn't know because he wasn't on the Jack show, he was at Content House. We were watching the Simpcat or the Content House live stream, and this guy was trying so hard to mac on Lauren and the other girls that were there. And we were just watching this live stream and providing commentary. And some of us had to look up some people. And so we found out that Scarlett was a porn star and does anal. So I think Shane called her butt girl. So we were just providing commentary, which a lot of us do. But Scarlett, I guess, didn't like it. So she goes off on Mandy for it. And that's what this clip is.
Finally, somebody took Mandy down a peg. Good job, Scarlett.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I feel bad for her.
Look at the people in the chat running to my defense. Cecil is not too fat to sit in a chair, assuming that the chair is made from tempered steel and heavily reinforced.
there you go.
I'm glad Juju's a welder.
But yeah, I don't know. It caused some drama because when Nina left, she said for Scarlett to lay off the drugs, and that triggered Scarlett. But now,
and that's the thing. Is that really going to help anybody? Like a passing shitty comment? You know what I mean? Like I know girls who have done Simcast who've reached out to Scarlett privately multiple times, like actually have tried to help her. And what's not helpful is just being like, "Oh, you're on drugs." Like that's not. You're trying to embarrass her. You're trying to look superior. So
people who are on drugs,
it's fun for content, but it's not actually helping anybody.
People who are on drugs aren't embarrassed by being on drugs. Like they know, they're aware that they're aware that they're doing drugs. Like it, they may.
Yeah, but she was crying and denying it. She was saying,
"Oh." It's one thing to deny it, like right. So in my case, people were accusing me very baselessly of being on cocaine for a long time before I was arrested. Well, I didn't want to admit that I was on a live stream. Like, I'm not going to do that live where it's clippable. It could go to police, etc. Like, that invites all kinds of problems. But I wasn't really hiding the fact that I was doing drugs. Like, a lot of people figured it out. It's like, well, I mean, I wasn't hiding the ball, I don't have a moral problem with it. So I didn't have any moral problem with it then either. It didn't bother me to be doing that. So if someone was like, "You're on drugs, bro," I'd be like, "I don't care." But there is a little bit of difference if you're trying to save public face and prevent some public trouble. And I don't know why people are intent on like, no, you need to admit this thing that could cause a whole bunch of problems in your life. If you just say the magic words, you need to say the magic words. Like that doesn't make any sense. And people will resist that, obviously.
Like if it bothers you to hear people say, "Oh, she's on drugs," and if that bothers you and embarrasses you to the point where you want to clean yourself up or change what you're doing, then I guess that's a positive thing. But if you're hearing it and it's a tricky situation. Like again, I didn't know her so closely to know what she was on, what she was not on. It would be confusing for me, like almost from like I don't know what I was to her acquaintance, friend, someone who tried to help her. Like I think initially I had her on the show to be like, "Hey, like, you're a person worthy of love, and you're somebody who can do whatever you want. You don't have to do porn if you don't want to. Like you can, you're creative, you're funny, you can do other things." And that's that felt good to me and I kind of want to give that to anybody who feels like maybe they've been pigeonholed into that industry. But again, like you can only help somebody if they want to be helped. And it didn't seem like if somebody's, and I've had multiple people in my life that need help, but don't ask for it. And it's one thing if you get like a private message, like, "Hey, I need help quitting X, Y, and Z, or I need to get in this relationship, help me." Like that's one thing. But if someone's not giving you that, you can't make
somebody's denying they're even doing drugs. Forget about having a drug problem. She was denying that she was even doing drugs. Everybody knew it. Like it was like, and then you'd be like, "I don't even touch." Like, forget about getting her to be like, "I need help with my problem." She was not even admitting that she was even recreationally doing it. Like, so it's like, at that point, what are you going to do? What are you, a superhero that's coming in to save somebody who's like, it's just,
Two things. One, it's not anybody's job to save another person. Like if you have a personal relationship and someone reaches out for help, like Chrissy said, you should absolutely support them, try and help them because you care about them. Like that's when you don't have a duty to do so. It's just something you would do for a friend. If your friend was in financial trouble, you might try and help them out of financial trouble. If your friend was in legal trouble, you might try and help them with that. So if they're in drug trouble and they come to you, you do that. But it's not anybody's job or obligation to fix the people around them. And second, it's, like if that person doesn't do that, you should just kind of stay out of it, honestly, because you're not helping them. You're probably reinforcing the attitude that they have, and they're not going to listen. So, the way to be a friend, and maybe you don't hang out with them as much. Maybe you have like subtle ways of pulling away and saying like you don't approve. But if you want to be a friend to someone who's in that, being like, I need you to admit it publicly is literally never going to be like the right thing for them. It won't help them at all. It actually will probably cause more problems if they're admitting it, unless they're ready to. If they're ready to admit it publicly, that's a different thing, right? Like, I want to recover. I need to make this admission and say I was fucking up and I'm trying to turn my life around. This is my accountability. Yes, support that. But trying to like force someone to do it or draw it out of them, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're going to ruin your relationship and then consequently ruin the possibility that you have to offer them help, because they will like they won't want to deal with that. Every time you see someone, you need to get off those drugs, be like, fuck off, brother. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to go do drugs somewhere else.
I guess I'm going to be the mean one here. I think it's like extremely unprofessional and rude if you're going to go on somebody else's show and derail it because you're coked out of your mind.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, you could also be on cocaine and add to a show. So
Yeah, but Chrissy, she wasn't adding to Simcast. She was going off on her crazy tangents.
She'd have shows where she'd be funny and I'd see glimmers of like, oh, there's a really great person in there. Like there's a funny girl in there.
Yeah, but instead of being that great person, you're choosing to be like that. If you're going to try to do this.
I couldn't have her on anymore because she couldn't follow a topic. And I mean, like the show's like not the most organized, but sometimes I do want to focus on topics at times. And, she just had a hard time doing that. So that's ultimately why I stopped having her on. I was like,
well, you have her on if you want her to be the topic, because that's
right.
That's it. Yeah.
And one of the tough things about the time when all this was going on is, from her perspective, I would guess she was being brought on a lot of shows for the purposes of, air quotes, exploitation of her situation. They wanted her to be the topic. I mean, she went on MLC a million times, and Kevin Brennan's show.
Who's that?
Exactly. He's the less funny brother of Neil Brennan.
Who's that?
Yeah, a guy who has a writing credit.
He wrote for Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he wrote for Saturday Night Live for a season and stuff like that. Anyway, so he does a podcast now, and he was paying Scarlett to come on because he would get so many fucking super chats when she was on. He would rake in cash. And so, he would bring her on, and she was the topic. Exactly like what Cecil said. If you wanted to bring her on because she would be the topic, that's what was happening on a lot of those shows back then. I mean, she went on Tookie. She went on a lot of shows in the Dabbleverse. And they would bring her on. They'd bring in a bunch of super chats. They'd basically, insult her or talk about her porn career or whatever, and then she would be off the show. And so, not like apologizing for her coming in and crashing Simpcast or whatever, but you could kind of see where if she's expecting that from every show appearance that she's on, she might go in and with a defensive attitude. And I just think a lot of people brought her on for some improper purposes when she maybe shouldn't have been brought on. But what do? She's an adult and she says, I want to come on, and know you're going to make money. Like you do it, right? Like that's all of us know how to do that.
Right. It's like, I get it. Like I can see like people having her on. Yeah. She's just fun for content. Like, yeah, there was a time where I was like, yeah, it's fun. Like she's kind of off the rails, but then it got to be like, okay, she really is having trouble following a topic. And I would like see it on the other, like I would see it in the faces of other people on the show. Like, okay, people don't know what to say. People don't know how to interact with her. People don't know how to respond. So it's like making it a bit challenging for everybody else on the show. So,
to me, the most frustrating thing was watching people bring her on and then like immediately just deriding her as a porn star, like, and going like in on that. It's like, well, why'd you bring her on then? Like, if you have such disapproval,
I brought her on to humiliate her. It was like a
porn. Like,
it was like
she knows.
Struggle section. They were doing struggle sessions with her and just and humiliate it.
Yeah. It's like the drug thing, right? Like someone who's on drugs isn't embarrassed by doing drugs. I don't know if you guys know this, but most porn stars aren't really embarrassed by doing porn. They have a different perspective on sex than people who don't do pornography. I'm guessing. Yeah, Chrissy, you used to do a show that was about talking to porn stars, so you've probably run into that quite a bit, right?
Oh yeah, I've talked to so many of them, and like what I found interesting is getting their story, and I would always just be like, well, what were the circumstances that led you to pursuing this industry? And like when you start putting the patterns together, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, there's often abuse, there's often some kind of like somebody in your family or a close friend like abuses you, or there's some kind of like abusive or relationship or boyfriend situation. Like you see so many of the same things happening over and over again. People give me so much shit. Like, why do you talk to porn stars, Chrissy? I don't know you're a Catholic. Why do you talk to porn stars? And it's like, so people can listen to these conversations. Like, sure, ideally, would I like to be talking to somebody, and then there's like a nugget of inside them that they want to like turn their lives around and make a different choice. Sure. But there's definitely value in these conversations, because somebody maybe who has a daughter, like they can go, oh, this is what
Chrissy,
to look out
sorry,
for.
not to interrupt. Your microphone is cracking a bit. Maybe you'd like turn your gain down a little bit. Sorry.
Cracker.
Oh, no pain, no gain. What about now? Is that, I don't even know.
I didn't hear it.
Is that better?
Maybe it's
I
just
hear a
me.
little bit of popping from time to
Could
time.
just be,
It's better now.
I don't know what the point
Here,
was.
just keep talking for like 10
Yeah,
seconds. Let's see.
I like Scarlett. I wish her well, and like I
No.
get along with her. But she had been wanting to come on my show for a while, and my spidey sense was going off on tragedy, and I was like, I'm gonna sidestep this. I think I don't want to be accused of exploiting her.
Well, you
on
get
any
accused
level,
of
and I'm
exploiting
like,
it whether you do or don't. Like whether you talk about it or don't. Like there's no people who want to say
Yeah.
you're exploiting somebody are going to say it. They're saying it right now in the chat. They don't care what you say. Because it's fun to say you exploited her.
Hey, I never had her on a show. I really didn't talk about her very much in general, even when all this stuff was going down. And I was accused of grooming her for sex. And then I was
Oh.
accused by Ethan Ralph of sleeping with her in Vegas.
Oh.
So like, like holy shit. I didn't do any of those things. So
Yeah, I guess I'm just a judgmental bitch, but I just when I like I think I was on one Simcast with her and I texted you, Chrissy, and I'm like, I can't do this ever again. She reminds me too much of people I know. And I guess when you've been around that in real life, when people are in denial and they got problems, and you, especially like people I've seen that were normal and then they went down that way. Nick, at least you were picking yourself back up, but like if you like never did and you just stayed and just destroyed your life, I am too judgmental. Like I look down on people like that, and it wouldn't have been a good mix. And I
No, of
wouldn't
course
have been
That's
able to hold
valid.
it
Anna.
down.
You're not somebody who, and this is one of the things I love about you. You're not somebody who can sit on a stream and pretend like to like a situation that you don't like, or like pretend you like someone who you don't like. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to explain, like you're very real that way, and you've dealt with it with people you know in your life, and it's almost like you see it kind of like as enabling almost, and you don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know how to sugarcoat things. I guess I'm going to have to learn now that I have a kid, but like I don't know. This situation with Mandy just being cool like this, I'm like, oh my God, I probably would have snapped.
Yeah, I wonder if Mandy was just like, oh, let me see what she's gonna say, or like, do I understand what she's saying?
well, if you're going to be on a panel show or host a panel show, sometimes you just have to sit there. Like that's part of the game. Or you can throw people off, right? Like you can take one of two options. And I think all of us have done some brand of both of those things at some point in time. And that's just the nature of the business, right? Like you bring someone on and maybe you don't know them and you don't know how it's going to go. And you're like, this is a fucking disaster. At that point, you can either try and turn the ship around if you want, or you don't, none of us have all this extra time to deal with bullshit. So if you can't make it funny and it doesn't make money, get them off the show. Either insult them and throw them off, or be polite.
T-shirt, Nick. If you can't make it funny and it doesn't make money.
Get it off.
Yeah, a great slogan.
Well, you know what? She's out of prison. We'll see what happens. the whole getting involved with Ethan, Ralph, I'm like, I don't know how you could make a worse decision than that.
It's it's a complicated one. The thing that weirded me out was like they kept getting back together. Both of them have said over and over that they're bad for each other, that it, whatever. And then, 4 days later, it'd be like, haha, bitches, we're back together. It's like, no one's offended by it. We're all just marveling at how neither of you are dead, honestly.
I thought they were going to make it, I got to say.
I'm hoping that whatever she's going through right now is some kind of a, like, not like you ever want somebody to hit a rock bottom, but
a wake-up call.
I hope it's a wake-up call. And
you always hope that this is the rock bottom, right? Like for me, people are like, I hope this isn't your rock bottom. I'm like, fuck, I hope it is. This is really rough. I don't want to do something worse. Like I don't want to be in a worse position. So I don't think there's any shame in hoping someone has hit their rock bottom, because the other answer is they go lower, right?
Yeah, a rock bottom that they survive is a good rock bottom. So if this is a rock bottom, good, turn it around. Maybe, and then, in the future, her and Ralph can work it out, and I don't know.
What I think is
met
interesting.
Cecil at his rock bottom.
I'm still there.
He's a
still waiting to
boulder
turn
bottom,
this-
to be
Used
fair.
to be a lot fatter, though.
I think so this situation, I've not really commented on Ethan and Scarlett too much, just because I don't want to get involved in any of that. It's not really my business. I don't care what they do. Like some of it's interesting. Most of it's just like, okay, well, this looks like I don't want to be anywhere near that situation. So I don't comment much on the drama. But from the legal aspects of the case, there are interesting things beyond a possession case here, because you do have a question about whose bag is it, who owns the cocaine, what will prosecutors and cops believe, what will they pursue? And if they do decide to pursue Ethan, there's some really interesting shit. The amount
did he
of cocaine.
go back to Mexico?
Yeah, but so Ethan's visa expires. His visa to travel to Mexico expires this year. So he either has to go to a different country or come back to the U.S., or he becomes an illegal immigrant in Mexico. And Mexico may be kind of lax on that for expat Americans being down there. Until you have a drug charge, a felony drug charge in the U.S., they will cancel any visa that you might have, unless you're a permanent resident in Mexico, which I don't believe he is. They will extradite you.
I don't want to give him legal advice, but if it doesn't work out with Mexico, I've heard, and I don't know if you guys, there's now a new Mexico, and maybe he should try that one.
There's countries that don't extradite, right? He could just go there.
There's not many.
Greece is one of them.
The other thing is extradition a lot of times has to do with that country's citizens versus Americans.
Well, go to the place that Tom Hanks goes anytime Epstein information's about to leak.
He goes to Greece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go to Greece.
So it's like Greece, Russia, Venezuela has a pretty good non-extradition treaty.
Well, Venezuela's in a little bit of a pickle right now.
That's kind of in flux, right? And then North Korea is good.
He'd definitely lose weight there.
But so it's the options are pretty thin.
Maybe he doesn't want to, Annie. You ever think about he accepted?
He started losing weight. Have you seen how saggy his face is now?
And sad looking. Stay fat and happy. I hope those two kids can work it out.
I don't think that guy's ever been happy.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Well, I mean, if food doesn't make you happy and sex with porn stars doesn't make you happy, then nothing's
I don't know if food makes
happy.
me happy, but no food makes me sad.
Aww.
So
yeah, the one thing is just because there's a non-extradition treaty, or there's not an extradition treaty in a country, doesn't mean that the country won't ship you back as an American, right? Like they can always choose to say, fuck you, get out of our country. And one of the fastest ways to do that is a drug charge, especially a drug trafficking charge. Who knows where the cocaine was purchased, but hypothetically, one of those people is from out of the country. And if they happen to bring that into the country, that becomes a problem. But even participating in a drug purchase that knowingly happens across state lines, like let's say they bought the drugs in Chicago and then went into East Chicago and Indiana. You've now crossed from Illinois to Indiana. That's a federal drug trafficking crime. And that becomes much more serious. And countries like Mexico, Colombia, Bolivia, they don't want drug traffickers from America associated with their country because it messes with foreign relations. So they will extradite people for that type of charge. It is pretty serious. But this is all way hypothetical, how much. No one knows how much evidence or how valid of a claim it is. It could be Scarlett's bag. No one actually knows any of this. It's all speculative off of what's publicly available.
It's like when you talk about these countries and they're worried about their reputation. Mexico can't even get their plumbing right, but they have time to deport their illegals. That is shocking.
They can't even get their water right.
They can't get their water right, but the country is run by drug exporters. And so you bring in a rogue drug exporter, they want to get them out. And they don't want to deal with it because they don't want the U.S. having to get involved in some sort of thing, any sort of dispute that brings a light shining on the drug problem in Mexico brings a potential for U.S. action or sanctions or whatever. Now, they're not going to sanction Mexico over Ethan Ralph, but if looking into what, remember that Mexico doesn't know anything about him. So looking into one drug trafficker, if their fear is that it shines a light on a network of American expat drug traffickers, which I'm not saying exists, but if their fear is that, they don't want to deal with that shit. What a mess.
I'm going to make a prediction on her. Prediction, they're going to sentence her to drug treatment facility. She's going to do... She's going to be on community service after that, and then probation for 3 years.
If she just identified as Somali, she'd get out of everything.
Wait, what does probation entail? Do you have to wear an ankle monitor?
Don't get in trouble. You're going to jail.
Follow all the terms of any treatment plan, any mental health care that you have. So mine, for example, my chemical use assessment said, you're not an addict, but you need to go into relapse prevention therapy. So I had to do 40 hours of relapse prevention. I have to have a counselor that I meet with regularly, a mental health counselor, even if they didn't identify a mental health problem. Suckers. But no, but I have to have a counselor and I have to follow any treatment program by them as well. And I have to do I have to check a website every day to see if I have to go do random drug test. And I have to do that I have 5 years of that, but I could possibly get out in 2.5. But I also had to do community service. I had to do 80 hours of community service as well. Which was actually the best part of the whole sentence.
You did it already?
Oh, yeah. I had to get that done right away.
What'd you do? Read to old people?
Was it something involving nature or something like that?
I wish. Our county sucks and doesn't have any flexibility on this. Some counties let you kind of sculpt your own community service or volunteer with a church or a community outreach or whatever. Our county, you literally work for the county in maintaining county property. So I was mowing lawns.
Ooh.
Mowing lawns, washing cars. I was working outside, and you get to meet new people and talk about all the crimes that you guys committed, and it's a lot of fun.
Work on your tan.
The shitty part of it is, so for my community service was hours. Had to do 80 hours, but a lot of these guys, they go in and they don't really have good income usually because they have a drug problem, and so what they have to do is they have to take these drug tests. Well, drug tests cost $32. If you can't pay $32, you can work it off at $10 an hour. That's what community service pays, but no change. So $32 is 4 hours of work. So a half day of work if you get a random drug test and you can't pay for it. And a lot of guys can't. So it's this really shitty, perpetuating cycle. And they also
Cecil, you didn't mute. We can hear what you're doing.
Stop masturbating. But they also tack on all your other fees. So if you have $1,000 fine, if you have to pay restitution, some of these people are there working it off. They have thousands of hours of community service that they have to go through. And it's like, holy shit. 80 hours for me was nothing. I was begging to pay them money. I'm like, I'll pay you a bunch of money if you just don't do probation. Can we do that? Like, I'll give you 50 grand. They were like, no. We want you to work 80 hours mowing lawns instead. Like, you
It's
assholes.
character building.
At least you got some sun, Nick.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. I was like, there are more productive things. I have a law degree. I could do legal clinics. I could host an Alcohol Anonymous group.
Labor.
Was it a ride-on mower?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
It was a
that's
zero
cool.
turn one with
That's
like a
so fun.
6-foot deck. It was amazing. I would drive one of those all day. Mowing a lawn on one of those is great.
That's like a reward.
It was heaven.
Oh my god.
I don't have anything to worry about. Just it was great.
Well, at least you got that out of the way. Now for the rest of everything.
Well, now it's just the drug testing. I test like once a month. I mean, it could always be more, but it's literally like it's. I think in July one time. It was one time. I haven't had to test yet in August. Probably won't until like the 20th or 23rd or something like that.
How long do you normally study for these tests?
2
4
lines.
hours.
Good,
4
right?
hours the day before. But that's all. I just have to do that. The thing is, it's like you have to check it. And one of the weird things about it is like I check like 4 times a day because you get so used to checking and it's so mundane that you can't remember if you did it that day. So I have like a system now. I take screenshots every time I like check it, and then I put them in a folder by month so I know that I checked it because you'll be sitting there at near like in midday and you're like, fuck, did I check I check every morning when I wake up, but did I check it today? I don't know. What if I had to pee really bad? But it's a nightmare because if you miss checking, they can tell.
Oh.